So what do you want to do? What tiers do you want to do? You want to do
I want to clap in 3, 2, 1. We could talk about that when we're on the air.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. We're on the air. We're on the air. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 16 of the podcast. It's going to be a good one.
It's gonna be your favorite one.
Remember when we did that tier list? Just everybody's favorite episode, the one with the tier list? Well, we're going to do that again. Bobby and I.
Yes!
But also our crowd favorite, Scooty!
I really don't like how facetious that entire thing was.
Can we?
I want to address it.
Yeah.
I'll address it.
Yeah. Talk about it.
We need to address the elephant in the room, okay? Bob and I have started this podcast, and as of yet, we haven't really had 2 weeks go by where anything has really been consistent. We've had in-person episodes with like a whole crowd of people on a couch. We've had green screen episodes. We've had episodes with just Bob and me in the studio. We've had episodes like this where it's split screen. So we're constantly trying to figure out the style when we do it all these different ways, okay? And people keep yelling at us that people need microphones. Now, often they do have microphones, but for the most part, Kim isn't going to sit in a room for 3 hours holding a microphone in case she has to say something at some point. But we also don't want Kim to not say something at some point if Kim feels like she needs to. Now, the one mistake we may have done is giving Scoot a microphone.
That's the most interesting part is that he had a microphone.
That you've said yourself that wasn't the issue. The issue was that I didn't have a camera.
No, it wasn't.
So
that was the issue. I'm just doing a goof and a gap.
Yeah, but so many people said that he didn't have a microphone when he clearly had a microphone the whole time.
That was bizarre. Yeah. Because you were mic'd up very clearly.
Yeah.
But the issue that people had was that it seemed like you were interrupting us. And it seemed that way because Scoot didn't have a camera. He wasn't on camera, but he was part of the conversation as much as Bob is when he interrupts me or vice versa. We welcomed Scoot into that episode because we wanted him to be a part of it. And we learned it felt really weird having a conversation with someone you couldn't see. And that was just a mistake that we made. A lot of people that said when they listened to the audio, they heard no problem. They thought it was 3 people having a podcast, and they actually thought Scoot was like in like the shot with us. Come to find out, he wasn't. So guess what? None of us, well, Bob is, but none of us are in the studio right now, and we're all doing it remotely, and we all have cameras.
Yay.
We should give Jackson Jackson, I feel like, was trying to defend himself during part of that, and we interrupted him like he interrupted us during that episode.
How does it feel, buddy?
I really only talked because I was invited. That's the only reason why I gave a little bit more than I usually gave on a recording day of the Nontendo Podcast.
Yeah. We invited you on.
I was invited on, and
we wanted you on. We like your energy.
Yeah.
We like when you talk. I love you, actually.
I love you, and I love Bob as well.
Okay.
I love the energy that you bring, and so you know what? We're doing it again, and we're doing it better. We're revisiting that tier list. Well, not redoing the tier list.
Of course
Instead, we're going to look at the crappy little DCF tiers, the games that we didn't like that Nintendo have made the franchises, and we're going to put our heads together and find ways that we feel like, in our opinion, I guess, those games can be salvaged and that Nintendo could maybe make a new one, a better version of.
I see a lot in the last tier.
The tier of haven't played.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the haven't
It's very
played.
tiny. I can barely see it. So we can't do any of those.
For that. Yeah. But I think we'll have more than enough content.
I guess the last 3 or something.
Yeah, I'd say F, D, and C, because while C is a passing grade, still, you don't want to just scoot past. You still get notes on your homework saying, see me after school for ways to improve. So we're going to see all these games after school for ways to improve.
Okay.
And Scoot,
yes.
I want you to host the show today.
Okay.
And you're going to pick the games really in any order, or you can go by game, section by section, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
And give us something to talk about. And feel free to be a part of the conversation.
All right. Thank you for
At your discretion.
saying it. At your discretion. Please note everything you do and say. You'll get 2 weeks of Twitter DMs. Let's start off with Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. You guys threw that in F tier.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts here. Have you ever played one, Bob?
No. I can tell you why I have not, because it's been many years, my whole life basically.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. Something's beeping. Something's beeping in my apartment, and I have no idea what's beeping.
This is going very well so far. So far, the tier list has interrupted us on the very first game. And he's gone.
And left. Oh my God.
I hope it's fine.
I'm so sorry. Hold on. There's something like beeping my apartment.
All right, you figure that out. You figure that out while
That sounds like we probably shouldn't be laughing. Is that a fire alarm?
Probably more important than Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
All right, well, for a second, we'll fly solo on it. I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
Why? Scoot is a cursed human being.
Yes.
There's always things going wrong in his life, whether it's we go to film a podcast and he blows his tire out down the street, or he can't make it to a recording because his apartment is flooded. And now possibly the opposite of that could be lit on fire.
Yeah, let's hope not. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I my whole life I've had Mario and I've been a Mario and a Sonic fan, and putting them together in the same game was just an impossibility. And when it finally happened in Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games, it was like some it felt like some half-assed like it's a completely different game. They're both platformers. Why couldn't we have them both in a platformer? But instead we got both of them doing some weird shit they've never done before. It seemed like just a throwaway situation that I wanted no part of. So I never played it.
Well, to be honest, in my opinion, I think Mario has done this before. This game is basically just Mario Party, just in an Olympic
Mario
setting.
Party. Is it Mario Party, or is this more just a Mario sports game that Sonic was invited to?
I don't really consider it a Mario sports game, even though, yeah, like I'm very cognizant that they're all sports, but they're like sport mini games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. The thing is with Mario and Sonic, it's not something I've poured a lot of thought into because I don't think it's something that really needs to be fixed. Like, it's not like we need to come up with some radical solution for how to make those games good.
Yeah, it just shouldn't exist, period. It should be a different game. It just
shouldn't exist. It's not fun because of inherently what it is. We don't need that. So the way to fix that one is to just stop doing them, please. Next.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not interested in that game. I guess the next time I was excited for Mario and Sonic being in the same game was Brawl. Smash Brothers Brawl, and that was a much better game if you ask me.
Yeah, that game's good. I can't fix that one.
No. Also, the game was made by Sega. The game was made by Sega, so to me
the game was made by Sega.
It seemed like a weird sort of way for Sega to be like, "Hey, we'd like to have Mario and Sonic in the same game," and Nintendo was like, "All right, you can like do some weird shit, but like don't make a platformer or a mainline game or anything." And they're like, "Yeah, no problem." And they made
what's
whatever.
Weird about the Mario and Sonic Olympic franchise?
What?
They put them on iPhones, but
Yes.
Mario is removed completely from the iPhone version.
That is definitely a weird licensing
It's just
issue.
Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Oh, that is weird.
Mario
It's
Also, who
super
cares about the
weird.
Olympic Games?
The
Why not do,
entire
like-
world.
No. For
What do you mean?
For playing, who wants to play the Olympic Games? Like, give me Mario and Sonic Battle Royale or something, not Olympic Games. Mario and Sonic Chess Coach. Like, I don't. Next.
Okay.
Next.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you also put in F tier. Those are the only two F tier games.
We're going from the very bottom. And he's gone.
Okay.
Hello?
This is going so well so far.
This is insane.
I'm very happy we invited Jackson to this podcast.
Dude, stop.
Why did you leave the call?
I didn't. My Discord just shut down.
Now I need to get up again and fix the OBS.
I'm sorry. This is not how I wanted it to go.
The chat right now is having a blast.
This is going in the episode.
It's arguably worse than last time, and it was supposed to be your redemption arc.
I'm really not happy with the energy we've created
Don't
in the
worry.
studio today.
There's still time. We're only about 10% into the podcast.
We're gonna get people there. Look, Bob, tell us how we can improve Mystery Dungeon while I get up and fix OBS.
Dude, I don't know, man. The game, I only played it when it came to the Switch, and it felt very much like a throwaway Game Boy Advance game, even though I think it was the DS version that they put on the Switch, or I mean, they like remade it, but like barely. It still felt like a DS game or a Game Boy Advance game, just with. I mean, I don't even want to say the graphics were better. They really weren't. They really still weren't that good.
No, I was never a fan.
It's just it wasn't Pokemon. It's the game that your mom would get you because it was cheaper than regular Pokemon, but still said Pokemon on the cover, and you'd get it and you put it in your Game Boy Advance or your DS, and you'd be severely disappointed.
Okay, I am curious about this though, Bob. You also hate Pokemon.
That is a good point.
Very famously. So why don't you like this version of Pokemon?
I like it less.
true.
I like it significantly less than regular Pokemon. I have to be honest with you.
I
I'm
find it
struggling to
surprising.
even remember what the mechanics were in the game. I just remember that.
Yeah, I'm realizing now too. A lot of these games we don't like, we haven't played, so it's hard to speak on how to actually improve them.
Have you not played Mystery Dungeon?
No, I have back in the day. I tried it, obviously didn't like it, so I didn't play it again. And then when the new one came out on Switch, I grabbed it, and it was kind of balls easy, not super fun, sort of really just linear straight path. I feel like these games could benefit from being a little bit more roguelike and a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean that would work.
I find the games like a roguelike, actually.
How is it like a roguelike?
Well, because every time you go into a dungeon, it's a completely different dungeon.
Okay.
No two runs are the same in the dungeon. Yeah, that's why it's a mystery dungeon.
So it's a procedurally generated situation, but
yes,
it's still
it's. I guess it's more like a Cult of the Lamb or a Hades, where there's a story, and like you keep the upgrades that you get. You know, like your Pokemon levels up, you learn moves, you convince other Pokemon to stop being jerks, and they join you. Because you don't catch them in this game. But yeah, it's kind of a lot. It's a lot like a roguelike in that regard. I never thought of it like that. And you like roguelikes.
So I
do.
I didn't. God, I played it when it came to the Switch, but see, we don't play games that
you
that
bought
we don't
the bad
like.
version then, yeah. No, that's fair.
We don't play games that we don't. It felt like a freaking GBA game. If you give me the GBA version, I bet you it's not any better than that Switch version. It's gonna probably play exactly the same.
No, in my opinion, the second one was the one that's the one that you want to talk about when you talk about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so that would be the best of the Mystery Dungeons was the second one?
Yeah.
I'm still struggling to remember why I hated the mechanics so much because I've completely deleted it from my memory. But I remember I streamed
what I'm starting to realize?
It was not great.
I'm starting to realize maybe I should give it another shot.
Maybe.
What is the one? The second one is the one?
Yeah, so the first one was Pokemon Red and Blue. Blue was on the DS, Red was on the GBA. And then the second one was the more like complete version. It was more like traditional Pokemon. It was Pokemon Explorers of Time and Explorers of Darkness, I think. And, you know, it had the same Pokemon gimmick. Like, certain Pokemon appear in one game, certain Pokemon don't appear in the other. Same general story. And then there's, like, a third, more complete version called Explorers of Sky. And that one is considered, I think, the best, most complete Pokemon Mystery Dungeon experience. That one's great.
Okay. So I guess the way to fix Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is to go back to whatever they were doing in that one.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. They did something really wonky in the 3DS one, and you don't get the Pokemon the way you usually got them in the game. And it was really weird. I couldn't even get through it, and then I just kind of stopped playing the series altogether. I didn't even pick up the Switch remake of the original game.
For me, these games, that's what you just said. I mean, like, I play them, the idea is cool, and I can't really put my finger on it. It just gets boring really quickly. It's like really slow paced, just not super engaging, and it's not Pokemon. It's just not Pokemon. It's like a not as fleshed out roguelike using Pokemon as like skins.
Right. I think it's a good roguelike, but the problem with it, the thing that breaks it in my opinion, is that it's Pokemon, and they want to keep it feeling like turn-based Pokemon, so that in turn makes it very slow.
I don't think you can call it a roguelike. I think it just has procedurally generated dungeons, and that's it. Isn't a roguelike?
What makes a roguelike then?
That's what I'm wondering. Is a roguelike, is permadeath a definition of roguelike?
No,
roguelike, you don't have permadeath in roguelike.
Well, permadeath in the sense of you go back to the start, which I think
you do that in Pokemon too, though. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, so if you die in the dungeon, you have to go back and do the entire thing.
Entire dungeon again.
I think it sounds to me like it's a roguelike. Okay. And I just never realized.
I don't remember it being like a roguelike.
I don't think that genre of a game existed back then.
No.
Was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon like the first roguelike?
Rogue was the name of the game that all of the roguelikes are based off of, and that's an old-ass game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for teaching us, Bob.
Yes, thank you. It feels like Bob's brother was here for a second.
Well, he taught me that. He corrected me on a podcast once to tell me that.
Oh, good.
Let's give us. I feel like we're 0 for 2, but give us another one.
How about one that you guys definitely have played? You guys definitely remember. Maybe you guys know how to fix it. Donkey Kong.
We put that whole thing.
We put Donkey Kong.
What tier is that?
Donkey Kong in C.
We put everything Donkey Kong in C?
No,
Yikes.
I'm talking the arcade cabinet Donkey Kong.
Oh,
you put Donkey Kong Country in B.
Okay, so it's literally just the arcade. Well, Donkey Kong Jr. and like
Junior
those
Donkey
games.
Kong 3.
And those are just,
I don't think that.
Those are fine.
Those are just one-off things.
Yeah,
they're fine.
They're fine. They're just a product of their time, and that time, unfortunately, wasn't that great for video games.
But how would you fix them now?
So Donkey Kong revitalized the troublesome arcade like economy. Like arcades were not doing good at the time, and then Donkey Kong came out and like helped bring people back to the arcades. And so at the time, I guess it was the best that you had, but the best that they had isn't as good as anything that we grew up with or have now. So.
No. I don't think there's any fixing Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong in its time was perfect and did exactly what it needed to do. It's just when we were rating the games, we put it in C because it's a bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah, I don't know how you could take that, what was there, and make it a new game that works now. I think they've already done that with a lot of other things.
What you would do is Donkey Kong Country and then Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. That is fixing it. That is improving it.
Well, I would say fixing it is a game you guys haven't even played or tried. Is Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that game was made to to harken back to Donkey Kong.
Yeah. No, you're right. That was the evolution of Donkey Kong was the Mario versus Donkey Kong games.
Because adding Mario to something is always a winner. Like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic
Mario's
Games.
in Donkey Kong.
I was trying to do it. No, wait, you got another one.
Oh, I ruined the joke. I'm not doing good at this.
It wasn't a good joke. It's okay.
You guys made a mistake. Punch Out. That's also in C.
Ooh.
Oh, C. Okay, C's not that low.
Now
C's not so bad.
C's not that low. But I think Punch Out does need fixing.
Okay. So how are we fixing it? Punch Out is really just call and response. You just learn the patterns of the guy, and then you try to do the opposite.
Yeah, I know. It's been done. So, like, how would we fix it? Because we had the first one on NES. We had Super Punch-Out. Was there another one?
There was one on the Wii.
There's Punch-Out on the Wii, if you said that.
That's Super Punch-Out.
Oh.
I think...
No, wait. There was one... wasn't there one on the Super Nintendo?
I don't know. Scoot's at his computer. He could tell
There was
us.
also an arcade game, but that doesn't really count.
No, Super Punch-Out was definitely on the SNES.
Oh. Then what was the Wii one called?
It was just called Punch-Out.
Oh.
There you go.
This is the Nontendo Podcast, everybody.
This is maybe a mistake talking about all these games that we don't like because we don't know much about them because we don't like them.
Yeah. I'm now realizing we maybe should have taken a look at the list of games that we put down there and decided if we actually had things to say before we started.
Well, that's the whole thing. We're brainstorming how we can make ourselves interested.
Punch-Out's interesting because I feel like ARMS is essentially like a new age version of Punch-Out.
That's a good point.
That is really... I think that is almost maybe Nintendo was designing a new Punch-Out game and then it just became something different and then it became ARMS. Because I don't know what else you could do with Punch-Out. I mean, ARMS is literally the evolution. You have two fists, it's motion controlled, you punch with them, but you're also kind of moving around an arena and you have a bunch of special abilities. Like that is how you soup up Punch-Out. Turns out it's not very fun.
I hope they give it another go. I actually like it.
That's a good point. We didn't even put ARMS on this list. Where would ARMS go?
It was a very incomplete list. Bob, when you found this list, you were like tired, a little hungry, a little angry. You were like,
we're blaming Bob. There was like 14 people in the room who could have found a list.
You were the one who found the list.
Bob
I'm not blaming you.
What else was missing? I didn't notice anything missing.
I think just ARMS.
Just ARMS.
Very incomplete. That one game everybody loves.
I mean,
is Splatoon on this list?
Is one game really a franchise?
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's just one game.
It's just one mistake.
No, I also didn't think ARMS was that great. And it was like one of the things they were trying to sell.
I really think for a lot of these games that you guys rated low, I think online multiplayer is my fix for a lot of them, but make it good and make it better.
That's a good point, actually. Punch-Out would definitely benefit from online multiplayer.
The one for the Wii.
I think it would be really cool.
My brother played the shit out of the one for the Wii, and I think putting online multiplayer for the one for the Wii would be insane, because then you'd have to freaking... You get very tired. What if you made it an arena fighter, and all of the enemies were like Elden Ring style enemies? And you had to learn those attack patterns and shit. Imagine that. Imagine a Nintendo version of that.
That'd be cool.
I actually think that would be pretty cool.
That'd be really
because they are big, wacky characters, you know?
Actually, you know what's funny with a tier list is that all of these low-ranked tiers are like right down the bottom. Like right down the bottom of the tier list. You know what I keep down the bottom of me? My balls.
Whoa! Why? Whoa!
My balls.
What's talking about his balls?
The family-friendly YouTuber?
My sweaty, hairy balls. You know, I just keep them. I just keep them down there.
Why are they hairy?
But actually, I got to say they're not really that hairy right now. And there's a good reason for that.
Why is that?
Yeah. That's because this episode is sponsored by Manscaped.
Oh, Manscaped. That makes a lot of sense. I opened mine already because my balls are nice and smooth. Thank you very much.
Your balls were in need of a shaving.
Yes. They also give you a newspaper.
Well, did you know that support for our podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. That rhymes.
That's very good.
Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off. Oh my God. And free worldwide shipping with code, I'm guessing, because it's not wrote here, but I'm guessing it would be Nontendo.
Oh, that's going to be important for us to find out.
Maybe it'll be dubbed if I got it wrong, but I'm guessing it's Nontendo for 20% off at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 12 million balls.
I haven't done my nose in a while.
There's 6 million men.
So you're choosing to do it now, mid-recording?
There's two balls per man.
Have you tried the Crop Preserver ball deodorant. It's pretty good. You're sweating a lot down there.
I have not. I have not yet.
If you're sweating a lot down there, I used to do baby powder. They used to be the whole. They used to be the band thing. Hey, you got any ball powder? And we'd just slap baby powder on us. This is a little better.
Well,
it's like a lotion.
Let me tell you about it.
And it's specifically made
Crop
for your ball
Preserver ball deodorant will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say this, fellas. Your balls will thank you.
And
I've
how?
never talked about balls so much. And how? The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, it's a game changer.
Oh, baby.
Inside this package, see, I'm going to take a break from reading that read word for word for a second and say that I actually was sponsored by Manscaped a couple years back, and they sent one of these weed whackers to me then, and that thing is still beast moding it. Like, it still works. We use it. I use it all the time.
We use it.
Yeah, I kind of gave away a
It's
little
for
bit
the
there,
whole
but that's how
family.
you know. That's how you know I'm not lying. But I definitely use it. And look, straight out the box, get a little bit of trimming.
Oh, we're all doing
There it
it.
is.
Jackson, get yours.
Oh, I don't have one, but gee whiz, watching you guys use it, I want to use it. Where can I get one again?
You can get it
You
at
can get one at-
manscaped.com.
With code Nontendo to get a whole whopping 20% off.
Wow.
That's
Oh my
10%
God.
off per ball.
What have you
Her
ever
ball.
have you ever nicked your ball?
Oh boy, I have.
No, you
And
haven't.
Does it ever?
No,
I have. I have actually.
You have? You acted surprised at the beginning when we talked about this before the show.
No, I know. No, I did, but I actually am not lying. I did once. It stings like a son of a gun.
It sucks.
Stings. It sucks. But I gotta say,
Lots
it's
of
never
blood
happened
too.
with Manscaped.
Lots of blood. Manscaped
Well,
is nice and gentle.
that's because you're in the shower. The water makes it worse.
Oh yes.
But don't worry about that with Manscaped.
No.
Because it's so smooth. It's
very
oh
gentle.
my lord! Look at this package. I feel like I'm John Wick right
Oh,
now.
I thought you had
with
your balls out for a second.
the-
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me shaving
Oh,
my
I
finger.
get like
right
a
now.
nice little. I get a nice bag. Oh my god!
It's a very nice
And
little
then here's the giant razor. My god! Oh, geez, I turned it on in the packet.
Well, you don't have to worry.
It's nice that you can use it right out of the box. It's so nice. I think this is a new version of it.
Yeah, I had the 3.0 before for my previous ad, and now I have the 4.0.
Oh, it's the 4.0.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so the Lawnmower 4.0 is the trimmer. This trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. Dare I say
Dare
it.
I say it? You did. You did say
Actually,
it.
it's actually the only one I've ever used other than like janky razors.
I
that
used
cut
to
up my-
use,
my
well, I
balls.
don't want to say the competition, but I used to use one that you plug into the wall, and that was terrifying.
Well, this isn't terrifying because it's their 4th generation trimmer. It features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skincare technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a waterproof and also has 4000K LED spotlights you need for a more precise shave. It does have a flashlight on it.
Yeah, so in the apocalypse, when the power goes out, you got something to find your way. Me, while all the zombies are coming
Wow.
after you.
It's waterproof. And you can use the weed whacker on nose hair or ear hair. I mean, really, if you're a hairy guy like Bob and I, this whole kit is great for your
Doesn't
entire
stop.
body.
It doesn't stop at the chin.
You could become completely hairless and smooth and pure. Like Danny DeVito in that one episode of Always Sunny. All right, thank you Manscaped for sponsoring, and again, use code Nontendo to get 20% off. We're only now getting sponsors, and it's only now really helping the show. So we appreciate it if
Your
you want to check
balls
them out. Thank
will
you.
thank you. Right, Jackson?
Your balls will thank you, and we will thank you because then we'll get more sponsors.
And we will thank your balls.
Bob's trying to buy a house right now, so
Oh, yeah.
help him out because I just went through that.
If
and it
enough of
hurts
you
still.
buy a ball razor, then I could afford a house.
Buying a house hurts like nicking your balls with just the wrong razor.
And how? All right, what's another game we got to talk about?
Let's talk about a game that puts some balls on Nintendo characters. Mario Strikers.
Oh, geez. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yes.
Okay,
Now
so
we're-
again,
now
this is C tier, so it's
Now
still
we're
it's not
hair on the
that bad.
balls. This is C tier.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes, but I have so much to say about this one. This one I actually know how to fix.
Oh, good.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Game designer Wood over here.
To start with, the online needs to get fixed immediately.
Right.
Yes.
4 players need to be able to play online without 2 of them needing to be in 2 of the other players' houses connected on their own switches. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it's horrible and literally ruins the online experience. Next, Nintendo's online in general needs to get fixed so that we can have a game of this online without it being like 5 frames behind in lag. Next, can we have more things added to the game? Like, I don't know, more anything other than what was in the base 2 games, like more characters, more abilities, more maps, more modes, mini games, a story mode. Can we have a story mode? Someone stop me when I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
You're correct.
Thank you.
I'd also add that in that last game, it was what do we say? It was zoomed in a lot, or the field was too small. It was cramped.
Yeah,
and the
right
first
now,
game
the way
it was a lot
built
wider, and it felt a lot better.
The way they've built this new one, it literally looks and feels, but mostly looks like a Mario Party minigame, just because of how cramped and small everything is on the screen. It just feels miniature. It feels gimmicky. Like I can't put a finger on it. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like a big game.
So after I played Strikers, I felt the same way as you. I was like, this game isn't good. Like why? Battle Charge. When I played the new one, Battle League, the newest one on the Switch. When I played the one on the Switch, I was like, this doesn't feel good. Something's wrong with this. And then I went back and I played the original game, expecting it to be a little better, and it kind of felt exactly the same. I mean, the difference is that was on the GameCube. We've had 15, 20 years of hindsight that should have fixed the Switch version. But also, you were a little further away from the character, and it was a little easier to figure out what was going on. And also, I think my memory of the original Mario Strikers was just having a bunch of people in the room playing together. And that having people next to you is just something that you can't replicate even with online. So that's why that memory is so important to me.
That's my issue with it, though. Like a lot of people said when I had a complaint about the game, they were like, oh, play the old ones. It's exactly the same. That's my issue. I'm sitting here in 2022 buying this for $60 again. I don't want it to be exactly the same. I don't want a remaster. I want a new game. I want to feel like something's been added for me. It's so bizarre, man. Like, you couldn't say anything bad about that game leading up to release, or else every fan would jump down your throat. But the writing was on the wall for the game. It released. It was very lackluster. Everyone essentially realized they were either wrong or that the game was lackluster, and then it died off. Nobody watched or streamed or played it on Twitch. Nobody wanted to buy it for the price, and now no one talks about it anymore. Nobody cares.
Daisy came out.
Daisy didn't
and who
come out.
cared?
Daisy should have been in the game from the very beginning.
The game's gone.
I agree.
Daisy could have been in the game from the very beginning. I guarantee you she was ready to be in the game from the very beginning, but they need a little something to add later so it looks like they're doing something for the game.
I really hate the free DLC that Nintendo keeps trying to push out and say, like, look at how great we are putting out this free DLC. It's never that great. It's never that interesting. And it's really never that good.
No, and it's stuff that could have and should have just been in the game to begin with.
Yeah.
The only good Nintendo DLC that was free, Mario Maker DLC.
True.
Okay, I agree, Bob.
Daisy dropped to what, like 3 weeks after launch?
Yeah, about a month or so.
You're telling me they mocked up Daisy in 3 weeks? She just couldn't make it into the game?
No.
Yeah.
They literally just waited to have a little something, just because it makes it feel like
she's a really important character to Strikers.
I have another huge issue with the game. The old games, you had a superstar, and it was like Mario, Bowser, Peach.
Yes.
It was one of the characters, and then it was like a bunch of minions that you got to pick. That always was okay to me, to see like multiple Hammer Bros on the team and on the enemies teams. It is very disorienting for me as a gamer to see 2 Donkey Kongs on the field. It looks weird, or 2 Bowsers, because like. In a competitive game like this, and it's competitive because there's like min-maxing of stats, you can find the arguably best Mario Strikers Battle League team. And I think that it makes it negative for the game and casual fun because you are going to lose if you don't pick, I don't know, Waluigi, Rosalina, Bowser, and Donkey Kong. I don't know if those are the best characters in the game. I just threw out 4 character names. But that means you're going up against the same characters over and over again. You're not seeing any other character. Everyone's wearing the same stuff, and it feels boring to me.
The whole game is a mess for reasons like that, for reasons like just being able to see anything from the small field to the color schemes to everyone wearing the same color jersey. Mario looks like Luigi. It's just not.
That's the thing.
Good. I mean,
I liked the original because you only had to pick one character and then you got a bunch of minions. It was a lot easier and the screen was pulled out and the field was bigger, so it was easier to tell what was going on. The new game, you pick 4 characters, and you only really pick 2 if you're playing with somebody else. You pick your 2 and then they pick their 2, and then for some fucking reason you're swapping characters back and forth and stuff, and that's what's very disorienting and doesn't make any sense. And so it's hard to keep track of the character that you're playing as. So that's a
everyone
huge issue.
wearing the same Guernsey is stupid. I feel like all the characters should have had their own outfits, their own regular color schemes, and then like with Smash on 3DS with like the outline that the characters had, just give everyone like a red outline or a blue outline depending what team they're on. It would have made a lot more sense.
I'm fine with the jerseys because like it's a team sport. Personally, I'm okay
but
with it.
But it makes it's too I'm okay with the idea, but it's too confusing.
But I think it wouldn't be as confusing for you if Wario was on a team alone and had his own squad of like Koopa Troopas or something. I don't know.
I agree. But I'm saying in the situation where you have all the characters, which I get why they'd want to do that because they want to have all the Mario main roster on the field. I'm saying in a situation where you're doing that, let them all wear their regular clothes, give everyone a red outline or something. You can make it stylized. And then maybe even the character that you are gets like a yellow outline. So you can you're like never confused with who you are.
Yeah.
So Game Designer Wood really is here.
You need a giant arrow or something pointing at the guy that you are. I don't think the jersey situation
level
is
arrow
the issue.
Pointed at me at all times.
Yeah. I found another issue. The ball was a little too small in this game. Like I couldn't keep track of
as well in real life.
Couldn't keep track of the ball because it was what?
Yeah, no, I have that issue too. I can never keep track of the balls because they're too small. But they're easy to shave using Manscaped.
Yes,
that's true.
Of course,
not a lot of real estate to go through.
Should we move on to another game, gentlemen?
Yeah,
sure.
Please, because that game gets me heated.
Let's go to a game in the D tier. Let's talk about Star Fox.
Are we jumping around?
Oh, I was dying for you to. I told him to jump around.
Okay,
I have so much to say about Star Fox.
Yeah, Star Fox had one good game.
Which one do you consider the good one?
2 and a third that only recently came out. A third that was in the hole for many years. I like the one for the SNES. I like the one for the 64, and I like the Star Fox 2 that was hidden away for many years. I like all those games. It's just
Wait, which one?
Star Fox 2 that was hidden away for many years, and then Star Fox 64. I like all of those games.
Do you know the history of that, Scoot?
Okay, I do, yes.
You said you do know the history of Star Fox 2?
Yeah, Star Fox 2, it
used to be a game called Doki Doki Panic, and then Nintendo decided it wasn't ready for American audiences.
I never liked Star Fox. I grew up with Star Fox. I wasn't allowed to have an N64, so I saw the characters, on TV and stuff. My first Star Fox game was the one on Dinosaur Planet. Was that Commando?
Star Fox Adventures.
Star Fox Adventures. I didn't really like that, and I played Assault as well. I wasn't a huge fan of that one either, and I just kind of never really went back to the series. I enjoyed the DS one a little bit, but I just never really got into the Star Fox franchise. It just never really felt fun to me.
You should play Dinosaur Planet, because that ROM leaked.
That was the Doki Doki Panic of that game.
Yeah, that was, yes.
I have thoughts here. Star Fox sucks. The base Star Fox game that the actual core fans seem to like. Sorry, it sucks. I don't like on-rail
Which one's
shooters.
the base game? Which was the base game?
Okay.
64?
Star Fox 1, 2, 64, Assault, and the one on Wii U all suck.
Wow.
Now, here's why.
Okay.
I don't like on-rail shooters. I feel like an IP like Star Fox has something really special and really unique that Nintendo could lean into. And the fact that this game has been dormant for so long and the franchise is dormant for so long because no one wants to play on-rail shooters anymore and they haven't opened it up and expanded it into something cooler. Like literally just No Man's Sky, but skin it with Star Fox, where you're in space.
Okay, well, that's like, you
rails.
can't just say literally just do No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky was a technical marvel. You can't just be like, just do that and put Star Fox characters in it.
But like No Man's Sky, so you wouldn't have the randomly generated crap, because while that's good, we don't need that. We need an actual story. You could do whole like cinematics and everything. There's like set planets and everything, and you explore them, and it's more structured and a little bit more down to earth, but in that style. Because we don't have many space games right now.
Did you just explain
they're becoming
Starlink?
more popular. No, because Starlink is a Ubisoft game. I don't want a Ubisoft game. But similar, I will say this.
You're right about that.
Starlink Star Fox is literally the best Star Fox game we've ever had.
That was the best that I enjoyed Star Fox.
Starlink was an
Starlink.
ass game.
Yes.
And that says a lot.
I think you could do good on-rails games, and I think 64, the original, and Star Fox 2 even, I think those were fantastic games. It's
Yeah,
I guess it's hard to describe
for me-
why I think they're so good. Because, I mean, they're just on rails games, but something about the way you're exploring through the world and stuff, it felt good. And playing that even today still feels really good, but it's hard to describe why something like Star Fox Zero didn't work, because it was literally just the on-rails stuff. It's just they put the stupid gamepad as the main mechanic, and you had to look down and look up and look down. If they didn't have that, that would have been just as good as 64. Unfortunately,
the Wii U one was the worst one.
That was very bad.
The Wii U one was the worst one, and I don't care how much people say that it is like you can control it if you get used to it. You can't. The controls are terrible, and they never should have passed QA.
Yeah. It's bad.
I don't like rail shooters.
No one does.
They're just not for me.
That's not true. You can have a good rail shooter, and that is the original Star Fox.
I think you can have a good rail shooter, and I can ride them anytime I want at Disney World.
True.
But for a video game, I want to, experience the world a bit more. The reasons why you liked Star Fox 64 are the reasons I don't personally like Star Fox 64. I don't really feel like I get to explore the world. I feel like I'm being shown what I want, what the game wants to show me, and I can't see anything else. It feels like
it's like Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, like Pokemon Snap. I just being completely open world, and I can get into open world dogfights. And if I sense, oh wow, this ship is bigger and stronger than my ship right now, I need to duck out of here and go refuel at Toshi Station or something, I can go do that. And I think Star Fox, it would be really cool to go explore what animals inhabit this planet. Oh my god, this is a planet inhabited entirely by dogs. That's so cool.
So that's an interesting point.
I would like to do that.
That's an interesting point, because what I liked about the Star Fox 64 so much, I replayed it over and over again because it was a very short game if you just play through it. But there's a lot of multiple paths and branching paths, and a lot of different characters that you can only see and interact with if you go on certain paths. So there's a lot of different ways to go through the game. And that's, I guess, what I meant by exploring the world, is playing the game over and over again and hitting all those different paths. Because just like Pokemon Snap, it is on rails. You're doing the same thing over and over again. But so is a point and click game. You're just pointing and clicking through a different path.
With Pokemon, it's interesting with Pokemon Snap too, because you can take other paths the more you play levels and stuff like that. So it's similar too.
For some reason, I don't like Pokemon Snap, but I liked Star Fox, because I guess I felt like I had a lot more control.
To Exhibit A, you just don't like Pokemon.
That's a good point.
No, I definitely hear you about the more control, but just for me, it's not it. And I feel like if they put it open world, it'd be a lot of fun and really cool. I would like to see where Andros was, and why he is a giant floating monkey head in space. I think that'd be cool. That's just me.
I feel like we're talking about how to fix these games, and I think it goes to a conversation of, sure, the games are popular and people really like them, so they want them to come back. But the reason why they haven't and they're not doing well is because every time they try, it underperforms and doesn't sell well. It's because it's a genre and a format that's just kind of outdated, and maybe they can find a way to freshen it up and make it really exciting again, but you're still going to be stuck with just the Pokemon Snap-esque game that is going to have a niche core audience, but it's not really going to sell enough to warrant investing any time into. And I think if we want Star Fox to be popular again, it needs to reinvent itself. And, you know, at one point, Zelda was a top-down, weird little hack and slash game, you know, on the NES, and now it's a full open world exploration game. And I think Star Fox needs to look at doing a similar thing. And maybe it's not as crazy as a full open world game, but I think that would be sick. I think that would be really sick.
We do have a game that has tried reinventing itself and kind of missed the mark, depending on who you ask. I think the next game we should talk about is Kid Icarus.
Yeah, I don't know what the hype was about the 3DS version. I think it's just that Sakurai made it, but it really wasn't good. That was another on-rail shooter.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And
I remember
you like
buying
are
that
supposed to
game.
like hold the 3DS sideways or something, and use the stylus to shoot.
Yeah, the game's
Something like
release
that.
came in a big box that had an accessory in it that you would have to like plug in to the 3DS to give you an extra like toggle or something to actually play the game. And if you didn't have that,
I did not have that.
I think you had to use that little nub that was on the console, which made it really, really hard to play.
No,
I remember buying.
I think that was added. That was a new Nintendo 3DS thing. This game came out
nub,
just for
yeah.
the 3DS Classic. The nub thing was a addition in the new Nintendo 3DS.
So could you even play the game
That's
on a
why it
base
had
3DS?
the adapter.
You needed the adapter.
I think you used
well,
the
that
stylus
is
if
a
you didn't
nightmare.
have it, because I
Oh, yeah,
used
you
the
gotta
stylus.
say,
I think you
yeah,
could use the
you're right. You're
stylus.
right. You're
Yeah.
right.
And
But
that
either way,
sucked.
that's not trying to hold the console with one hand so you can use a stick and then stylus to move around the other one. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but I remember buying the game, rushing home to play it because I thought it looked really cool, and I think I maybe played it for an evening. And I honestly can't even remember much. I remember like flying through the sky a little bit, and I was like, this is horrible. And I never touched it again. I played way more of the very first Kid Icarus, but those two games are completely different.
Yeah. Those games
So
are Metroid.
I think what we have with Kid Icarus is a really cool concept, story, and characters. But between its two main games, I don't think it's even had another one. They haven't really managed to find what Kid Icarus is as a game.
I think they have. Kid Icarus, I think they nailed it with the 3DS one. The only thing that I would change is make the flying area, make the whole world open world. Like, the whole thing should be open world, like a Zelda game. But I like the combat. I like the different weapons. I think the flying, you should, like, because the way Pit's wings work, like Palutena, like, blesses him with power, so you can only fly a certain amount of time, so you have to plot your course, and you have, if you run out of flying, wherever you land is where you land, and you have to deal with it. I think that would be really cool. I think they really did a good job with the last game.
It sounds like our answer to a lot of these games is make it open world. If you make it open world,
They just have to do a lot more with a lot of these games. Some of these games, they
expand them and flesh them out.
Yeah, well, a lot of these games, they were products of their time, and they're too afraid to touch them or do anything wacky with them. And a lot of their best
Kid
stuff
Icarus
is iterated on over and over again until it's completely different than how it started.
Kid Icarus hasn't had a game since the 3DS, so really, it's tough to talk about how to improve something that if it even have had one release since then, it probably would have built upon itself. Like, there's only so much you can say about a 3DS game.
And to be fair, they did get wacky with it, and it was just not great.
No, yeah, they tried something. And I mean, maybe now that Sakurai is freed up to welcome more projects, he can take another look at Kid Icarus, because I really do believe it's got cool characters and cool story and cool design and cool world building. And I mean, Scoot liked the game, but they obviously haven't made a game that's resonated with enough people.
Right.
So there's something that's definitely there. I would kind of, weird and wacky, if we didn't want to go open world, I'd like to see kind of like a Bayonetta style of the Kid Icarus.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That would be super interesting.
That'd be great.
Like a 8 to 10 hour hack and slash adventure game with like these crazy cutscenes and gods and whatever.
Yeah, give it a platinum. Let them do it.
Okay, you know what? No open world because I love it, but let's come up with a different solution for a game.
Okay, yeah.
Hack and slash adventure. Give us that for Kid Icarus.
I think that'd be
Or
great.
a shooter. It'd
I think
also
they'd
be a shooter. Probably.
Do a great job. Yeah, but I mean,
Like a Devil May Cry.
Kid Icarus
or
is,
Bayonetta.
yeah. The whole
Also,
thing,
you'd be getting Sakurai to make the fighting,
Yeah.
which would be very interesting.
Yeah. The whole thing with Kid Icarus, though, it would work. Because, like, the whole thing with the new one was that he had, like, all these different weapons, which are even reflected in Smash. Like, his new side B with the uppercut punch, his down B with the orbitals. So, like, it's not unheard of to, kind of have different weapons that you can equip and whatnot. I think that would be really cool. So I just want to give you guys a time update. We're about 53:29 in the podcast.
Oh, God.
And we have a lot of games left. We have do you
Do
guys
we have
want
any like F and D's left?
we have D's left, but I think you're going to just say they're all games of time that can't really be fixed.
Hit me with all of them.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario, Game & Watch, and the Mario Brothers, as in the arcade Mario Brothers in the sewers.
Yeah, you're right. Those are all kind of just products of their time.
Yeah, you're probably right. I could come up with something for Dr. Mario, but honestly, who needs it?
It's
Dr. Mario 99.
Oh,
Okay, actually.
That's a great
Okay,
idea.
actually.
I fixed it.
Jackson had a
fixed
great idea.
That's actually a pretty great idea.
We don't have that queued.
Yeah, that's solid. Actually, I don't even like Dr. Mario, and I would play that.
They did a mobile
That's a
version,
solid.
and it's probably fine. But it's just Dr. Mario.
It's gone
No.
now. I think they closed the doors.
You could do
It
that.
wasn't
You could
good, and
you
yeah.
just get rid of a game.
Dude,
The
no one
Mushroom
was playing
Kingdom
it.
no longer has healthcare.
Damn.
Dr. Stack of Goombas, no more medical procedure.
I actually heard that the Dr. Mario is running for Pennsylvania office now.
Oh, really?
That's a Dr. Oz joke.
Does
for
he have?
anyone
Oh,
that-
is he running?
Dr. Oz is running for
Yeah,
office in
that's a thing.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
There's a lot of memes.
He has 10 houses in multiple different countries, and part of his campaign was going to the grocery store and complaining about how much broccoli cost.
Yeah, and then he lied about how many houses he had or some shit.
Yeah, he said he only had 2. He said, "Oh no, I said I had 2 homes. I have 10 properties."
Yeah, that's fucking different.
All right, let's not get political, but it's Dr. Oz. It doesn't count. Continue. Next game.
All right. We got Pikmin in the C tier.
Oh, dude, Pikmin is a great one to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not too jazzed on Pikmin. I mean, it's been so long since I played freaking Pikmin, but it kind of feels like, what is it, like an RTS, right? It's like a
It's a management, micromanagement game. I played them all. The first and second one, I was pretty young and I just didn't gel. I mean, I was young.
Yeah,
I don't know if
young
this is
too
just
when I
me,
played
but
it.
yeah, as a kid, I didn't care for it. I picked up the third one on Wii U because I was a Wii U owner and I was desperate. And you know what? I actually really liked it. I finished that game. It was gorgeous. It was one of the first like HD Nintendo games I'd played. A lot of the textures for the world and the fruits and everything they designed were really pretty, and I remember that resonated with me. But for the most part, when you get later in the game and you have all these Pikmin, and you start sending a bunch off in that direction and that direction and that direction, and you're trying to do something here, and then you're like, oh crap, I need to go follow up with these guys. There was something about that became really, really fun to micromanage. But again, it's a very niche style of game. So I think if they want it to be more successful and to bring it back in a fourth iteration, unless they want to do literally the same thing again and have mediocre success again, I don't know. Actually, I don't. How would you really expand on that? I mean, and make that anything different than the third one?
I really don't know. This was one of the games where I thought you guys were crazy for putting it in C tier. I think it is minimum a B tier game. I think
You don't like it?
No, I love them. I think they're like B tier. Like they are like I think the Pikmin 1, fantastic story. Pikmin 2 expanded upon what was
fantastic
like wrong with
story.
Pikmin 1.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a great story.
I don't remember.
Like all of them are
story at
crash
all.
lands, and all the little Pikmin guys have to like rebuild the SS Dolphin so we
Okay.
can get home.
It's not a fantastic story. You just summarized it in a second.
It's a fantastic adventure.
I remember going.
But that's the whole
the
story.
story
If you
was
crash land-
through like the shit you picked up and read the little thing and you very quickly find out it's like Earth.
No, there was, for the third one, there was a story, but it was literally what he said. You crash on a planet and you just rebuild your ship and then you leave.
You also have to.
No, he said the first one. Yeah.
That's the first one. Bob, you're going to learn in the Pikmin franchise, the story's the same across the board.
It's the same thing
Same
every
story.
time. You crash land somewhere. What is the weird stuff on this planet? Oh, well, lemons now. And then you beat the game. And it's fun. It is fun. It is fun. But it's the kind of thing where I don't know how you would improve it and they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
Have you guys heard of Tinykin?
What?
No.
Tinykin.
I have
It's
not.
an indie game coming out that is basically just Pikmin but with platforming.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty good.
I played that. Yeah, that game is Pikmin.
Yeah.
And that is definitely actually improved Pikmin. It's really cool.
It's
There's
Pikmin with like
parkour.
good platforming mechanics.
Yeah.
And it
It's
looks really
really
good.
fun.
Well, then maybe whatever that is that I can't even picture in my head.
And you
is something that
skateboard
Pikmin-
on bars of soap.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay,
cool.
this sounds like something. Yeah, Nintendo, are you paying attention? Other people are doing your games.
It's
for
really
you
cool.
at this point.
Why are you burping
Yeah,
on podcast?
there's a lot of people.
Sorry, I have a bad habit of it.
What's crazy is that's a Devolver Digital game, and there's another Devolver Digital game coming out.
It is not a
That is
Devolver
just a
Digital
ripoff
game.
of Zelda.
It is a tiny build game.
Oh, Tiny Build?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's tiny build.
Oh, it's Tiny Build. I get Tiny Build and Devolver Digital confused.
Easy mistake.
No, Devolver Digital is the My Little Prince game. Is that what it's called? Brave Little Prince?
My Little Pony?
Which one is that? No.
My Little Pony?
No, not My Little Pony.
My Little
Riding
Pony.
Stables?
Barbie's
I'm
Dream
Googling
Buffet.
it because I'm
Anyway, Pikmin is a big one, I feel like, that does need help. And I know Pikmin fans are hurting. I got to be honest, I don't think we have a way of fixing it other than
Tinykin.
I
Just play Tinykin.
I meant the game I'm talking about is the Plucky Squire from Devolver Digital.
Okay, I have no idea what
Right.
you guys are talking about right now.
It's
Plucky
you
Squire
would
is another
love it,
indie
Wood.
game.
It's
You should check out some
literally-
indie games sometime, Wood. That was
Wood,
in one of the
it's
directs, I
literally-
think.
Yeah, it's literally Link's Awakening in
It's
a really cool
The
way.
art
is
director
it
for
out? Is it out on Switch?
not yet, I don't think. The art director
not
who
yet.
worked
Comes
on
out
Sword and
this
Shield, Pokemon Sword and Shield, is making this game with
Wait,
some
really?
other guy. Yes,
This
that's why
game
the
looks
art
good,
style is
though.
so good.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's a really good artist.
Yeah.
Crutched by working on with the Pokemon Company, I guess.
Do we have any other big uns?
We do.
Okay.
Yoshi's Island. Not Super Mario Advance Yoshi's Island, just the genre of Yoshi games. Yoshi's Island,
So this isn't
whatever.
Wait, no. This isn't Yoshi's Island. This is Yoshi Games.
No, it
period.
is.
No.
It
This
is.
is specifically
I
Yoshi.
think I remember
We had this conversation.
when we were doing the episode. We counted this as Yoshi games, as in his spin-off games, as in like Woolly whatever and
Yeah.
all of that was counted in this.
Yeah, the Woolly Yoshi game wasn't that good. It was like
Okay,
it's
I just
literally
want to point out
toddlers.
Nintendo lists this game as a Yoshi game. It is
Yes, I just want to point out, Scoot, that you were there and we had a whole conversation about how we were going to split the Yoshi games.
No, I know, and you guys are just wrong though.
Okay, let us be wrong. Let us be in our own little
we're
wrong
not-
world
we're
while
not
we
wrong.
talk about
I'm
the
telling
Yoshi
you, when
games.
we filmed the first episode, we agreed we would use this as the branch of that because there was something else that was used as the branch of the other thing.
No, I know. I'm just being annoying.
At least I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Yoshi games.
right.
They're not. They're like fine. They're there. They're okay. Really, the one that sticks out the most is Woolly, whatever the fuck, because that's like the latest one we had, and that is a game for like literal toddlers. So it's hard for us to criticize it because it's probably great for literal toddlers, but it's just a breeze. It's just so easy, and there's not really much to the game.
Well,
so.
if we were to fix it, I would say that it needs what the Kirby treatment is getting right now. And I'm not talking about Dream Buffet, but they took Kirby, which is typically this easy platformer style game, and they gave it a more open-ish feeling, but sectional.
They made it a
open
grand
zone.
epic.
They made it a grand epic. They gave Kirby his moment in the spotlight, and it actually had some challenge to it. And I just think that that Yoshi needs the same thing. We just need a world to explore. We need something fun rather than the same old tried and true, super easy, but in a different material style Yoshi game.
Right.
That I don't even know who those games are for other than, children. And I don't know.
And I'm not a child. Make games for me.
Those games not only are super easy to begin with, but they typically have an easy mode as well. They don't even offer a hard mode. They offer an easier mode than the easy.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really think there's anything you can do to fix Yoshi. I think Yoshi's Yoshi, and we just gotta leave it at that.
I think you can make a good Yoshi game, but the problem is it'll just be a 3D platformer.
Yeah.
I would even be, at this point, with how Yoshi games have de-evolved, I'd be fine to go back to a 2D side-scroller Yoshi and just fully flesh it out. Maybe something like Tropical Freeze, but make it a Yoshi game. Just something different
like
that actually presents a challenge.
Which is a different franchise.
To give this one a spin, yes, Bob. To give this one a spin to all the other answers, I don't want to keep saying open world because that's not really what I want. Just hard. Just make them harder. Harder, please. Go harder on me, please, Yoshi.
Yes, Daddy. Next.
I think like an aiming mode for throwing the eggs would be cool. All right. I don't want to do like you guys put all the Mario sports games basically in C. I feel like they all have the same issue, just better online, better mini games, right? Am I incorrect?
More content is, well, for that, I would just say in general, sport games, more content and spend longer polishing that content.
Yeah, otherwise it's just the same game over and over again. And we don't need
the fix there is obvious. Like, we all know what's wrong with those games. It's just screaming at Nintendo to listen.
Yeah.
Here's one, Fatal Frame.
Why do we put that anywhere?
I don't know anything about that game. So, okay, here's the thing with that. It's in C tier probably because it's just not one of our favorite games. It's not like we're putting it in S, A, B, or anything like that, but it's fine. Like, I don't think there's anything to inherently fix there. I mean, the last one was Wii U. I think it's just time for a new one, and then I think it will. That's the kind of game that if they made a new one, it would just organically grow. It would organically evolve the idea and concepts of the game, and then I would play that and see if I like it now. I don't think I have the right to be like, that game needs to change. I think it's perfect for what it is.
Okay. F-Zero.
Okay. I think F-Zero was another one that's a product of their time, and it'd be very difficult to make a new version of that because it's really just a racing game, and it's not even like the best racing game. Like, the one for the Super Nintendo was like a technical marvel because of the way the graphics were and stuff, and how fast you played the game. But it's really just a flat ground that just scrolls towards you, and you move, well, I guess it's a perspective trick that makes you go forward, but otherwise it really wasn't that impressive.
I thought GX was awesome.
That's the GameCube one, right?
That's the GameCube one, yeah.
Yeah, I have not played that.
It's great.
It's tough when there hasn't been a new one in so long because it would obviously naturally progress at some point, and we're trying to build a dream game now. But Bob's right. Those games were just so bare bones minimum. I actually didn't play GX either. What did they add in GX that
a whole
was
ass story
different to the base game?
There was a whole story. Like voice acted, whole 9 yards.
Was the gameplay essentially the same with just like a few other space cars? And then,
more or less. It was the same.
See, I don't think that would work now. I mean, our attention spans are so short. I mean, everything now, like Mario Kart, is just constant action.
Make it Burnout.
That kind of game.
Burnout is my favorite racing game because then you could just crash into other people and blow them up. And like doing stuff like that in an F-Zero type world makes a little bit of sense because they are like fighting against each other. There's violence in F-Zero.
You know what game is essentially already F-Zero, but now is that Wipeout game is essentially like a now F-Zero. It has like the same mechanics.
Which one's Wipeout?
I don't know.
It's like it's on Switch. You can get it in 60 FPS. I think it's called Wipeout. I'm pretty sure it is. It's like super fast space cars racing down a track, really nice visuals, and then you run over.
It is called Wipeout. Yeah.
Yeah, you run over certain things for speed boost or to repair your ship. I'm pretty sure it is just F-Zero, but now.
Yeah, it does kind of just look like F-Zero.
And like it's fun. It's fine, but it's not taking the world by storm.
I think a way to fix F-Zero and make it different than Mario Kart is kind of do what they did with Forza, right? Like Forza Horizon.
What did they do?
Where it's like open world.
Where it's like a good game.
No, but like it's a great game. You know, it definitely like. I think it would be different because like you could like set up a pickup race against like people that are like on the world with you. You would be like exploring these massive like cities because that's what all F-Zero is. It's like very futuristic like cities, you know, that you're racing in. Mm-hmm. I think it would be really cool. I agree
that would be really cool, but way out of Nintendo's depth.
No, Nintendo wouldn't know where to begin. They
what about since it's so bare bones basic? What about the game? But there was like 100 races and it was all online. Like there's like massive tracks.
F-Zero 99.
F-Zero 99.
F-Zero 99.
Those are our go-to fixing the games. Either the 99 version or open world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. We got any more?
Yeah. We got...
Let's rapid fire.
Cruisin'.
Let's rapid fire.
Okay. We got Cruisin', Brain Age, and 1080.
Oh. I love 1080, but it just you know, the second one really was like okay, and then it got super eclipsed by SSX Tricky. So 1080 was awesome.
Also, you know what's funny? We were supposed to have a 1080 game-ish on the Switch. At launch, they announced Steep was coming to the console.
Oh, yeah.
And it never happened, probably because of technical limitations. So I think 1080 might have the same issue.
Steep's awesome.
I would love a new 1080 game. Make it, you know, just a modern snowboarding game. I think it would be great. I think they could totally revive that.
If you pump that bad boy full of sick tracks, throw in some Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, you know, and you're like just racing down the tracks.
The second one had licensed
tricks.
music, like pop punk.
That's what I'm saying. It's just make it Tony Hawk's but on ice.
Right. Oh, okay. I think that's it. I think that's how we would fix our
Brain Age is the last one.
Fuck it.
Or you don't want to talk about Cruisin' either.
No, because Cruisin' kind of suffers from the same thing as F-Zero.
Yeah, Cruisin's fine. Brain Age is also fine. You can't fix Brain Age. I just need to get smarter to enjoy it more.
Yeah. Well, we went through everything that was in the C, D, and F tier. The only thing left is you guys haven't played it, and I'm going to be honest, looking at these games, I don't think you're ever going to play them because I don't think they're going to be made again. Either.
Well, Nintendo, we've already told you what your best games are. Now we've told you how to fix your worst ones.
Better get on it.
What you would do without us. Yeah, get on it. Hurry up. Scoot, we appreciate you helping us today.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
We love you, buddy.
I love you.
Thank you so much. Do you want to stick around for the bonus, or you got somewhere to be?
No, I don't have anywhere to be. I'll probably still be here.
All right. Well, guys, please remember this episode was sponsored by Manscaped.
Please remember to
code
shave your
Nontendo
balls.
to get 20% off. Please remember, because, you know, we're trying to get sponsors now, and a way to keep them but also reach out to more is to show that when we get them, it actually works. So we'd really appreciate all your support. Of course, you can subscribe to the Patreon too if you want to support that way, and then you'll see a bonus episode right now as well as like 15 more immediately that we've done over the last like 3 months. And buy shirts if you want to buy shirts. But before all of that, Manscaped. We love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, rate us wherever you're listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.